Leland hits a wonder under throw in a real game here, so I just want to pause and think about what he looks like as he throws that. So here's the frisbee coming out. Look at his left leg. His knee is all the way to the ground. That allows him to drop his hips. He's got an aggressive, like less than 90-degree angle between right hip, right knee, and right foot. So he's dropping his hips low. He's loading up that right leg, and he's getting that left leg all the way down on the ground. I can also kind of see that his right armpit gets to his right knee, and he creates a lot of extension. So you can see shoulder is here, you can see his elbow, you can see his wrist. His wrist is so far away from his knee. Sometimes when I'm walking around coaching the Wonder Under, guys are like, "Oh, I can't do this because my wrist keeps hitting my knee. Like I can't throw because my wrist keeps hitting my knee." Look at how far away Leland's wrist is from his knee. It's because he's bringing his right armpit down to his knee. It's because he's getting great extension through his arm. And it's because he's spinning the disc with his wrist. If you can spin the disc with your wrist, then you can get great extension. If you're an elbow thrower, if you're spinning the disc with your elbow, you're going to struggle to get that great extension. And yes, you are going to be hitting your knee. So this is the value of learning how to spin the disc with your wrist. You can access better release points, and you can throw sick balls like this, just like Leland throws. And then you can just notice how this thing rises. Caden does not have to fall or slide. This thing is like hip height for Caden, so it's just a really good flat ball out to space, out in front of Caden. Easy catch for him. Great throw here from Leland. Here's another positive example of our reset system working. So we get a little dishy here from Gabe's person to Ethan's person, and they kind of reset. And in this moment, Gabe's looking at Ethan, and he's thinking about what kind of support do I have from Ethan. So Ethan's not totally flat, but you can see how Gabe's getting a good vision over here. And Gabe knows I've got coverage over here. Because I've got coverage on this backside, that means I can take a risk. I can jump the around. And I've made the point of like jumping arounds that you shouldn't be jumping. This is an example of an around that you could jump. We're going to work together. Gabe's going to try to like pressure this red circle. Ethan's going to try to pressure this gold circle. And we're going to work together to try to force them inside of the white. And what's that going to do? It's going to help us either get blocks or lead to mistakes. In this example, you can see Gabe kind of jump that right here. He's jumping that around. Ethan is holding his ground. We're forcing them through, forcing them into that white space. And what happens? They make a mistake. And then we eventually get the block because we got heads up field defense downfield. But that's the value of trying to squeeze them between our two leverages, right? That's the value of having one guy cover one space, the other cover another, and then we just like get them to try to throw resets in between the two spaces that we are covering, because we can force them into making silly mistakes. We pull off a triple switch in this clip, which is pretty sick because we've never talked about or practiced triple switches before. So Levi Haas's guy is going to get open on the far side here, and it's going to come down. And you're going to see Travis peel off to go pick up and help Levi Haas here. So this is a great time for Levi Haas to be thinking, okay, I've got help. My help came from this way. If your help is coming from this way, that means you need to look where your help came from and try to figure out who is unguarded. So if you see a help come from a certain direction, your head needs to then go to the direction help came from so that you can try to figure out who they were guarding. It takes Levi Haas a little bit of time to do that. You can see that he continues to pursue and doesn't think about, okay, well, who was Travis guarding? And that causes this leak out over here. But thankfully, we've got Buck who's heads up. So Buck is able to pick that up. So now Levi Haas has to be thinking same thing that he should have been thinking before. So as this guy goes, Buck is going to come help this way. Levi Haas needs to be thinking, okay, I got help from Buck. My help came from this way. I need to try to look over here. I need to look at where my help came from so that I can find who I should be guarding now. So Buck covers this up. Good job, Buck. And then Levi Haas eventually it takes him a little bit longer than we would like to get over here, but he does figure it out and he gets the mark on. So that's a good triple switch. It could have been a lot faster. We could have saved a bunch of steps, but pretty impressive that we pulled off a triple switch in the middle of a game without ever talking about what those are. There's some pretty good pairs cutting happening here, and it all kind of starts with Gabe's deep cut, and Gabe's deep cut ends up getting two people open. So I think a lot of our younger guys are really struggling to understand that it's okay to attack deep. I feel like I'm walking around practices telling guys they need to attack deep more. I feel like a lot of guys get to where Gabe is right here, and they feel this defender on top of them, and they just think there's no way I can run deep. I just need to give up on the deep cut and run under. There's still value in trying to attack deep, even if the defense is on top of you. Even if the defense is on top of you and trying to force you under, there is still value in trying to attack them vertically. So what happens here as Gabe goes, you can kind of see that this defender here is thinking about Gabe. And the most important one is right here, this little stutter step. Watch this defender's footwork. This little stutter step from the defender. He's like stutter stepping thinking, oh, I got to go with Gabe. So, and that just gets Sora so open. It gives Sora tons of space. Sora's probably open anyway. Sora's probably just going to beat this guy into footwork. He has steps right here. But you can see that the defender pulls up. The defender stops and thinks about Gabe for a second, and that just gives Sora the easiest touch of his life. And you can already see that Akosh's person is beginning to think about Gabe as well. So Gabe's vertical move got Sora an easier touch because his defender stuttered. It's also about to get Akosh his touch because this defender is coming over here. So right now, Gabe's got the attention of two defenders, and that's going to let Akosh just bulldoze down under and get an easy touch as well. Because Gabe's move is pulling this defender way off the stack, way off of Akosh, it's getting this defender's attention. Akosh is just going to run and get an easy touch. So strong vertical move from Gabe Yacht there helps two of his teammates get open. I think a lot more of us could be like way more aggressive attacking vertically. And if you're that second cutter, start paying attention to, hey, the guy in front of me went vertical. It's time for me to come on under. It's time for us to start working together as pairs. First guy can get the second guy open.